Welcome back to MFO, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. And today is our final update for the Mark Fisher Outdoors Virtual Bass Tournament. The VBT is coming to a close. You are seeing this video on Tuesday. I'm actually recording it on Sunday. I've got the updates. We got a new big bass. We've got two anglers who have up until this point not registered any fish, and they've come in with 5 fish limits, so they're jumping into the mix here. We've got all the updates, and this is your last update before the end of the month and the last day of the VBT. So stick around, guys. We'll give you all the info when we come back. Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for participating in the VBT. This has been a lot of fun, and I've gotten a lot of comments from you that you guys have enjoyed it. I really appreciate it. I'm glad this has turned out so successful. But before we get into giving you the current standings, let me again just thank 2JS Industries for purchasing that $125 gift certificate to Tackle Warehouse that's going to the first place winner. Thank you to Core Tackle, who is donating over $50 worth of baits and tackle from Core Tackle for second place. Thank you to Twin Lakes Marine, who's donating a $25 gift certificate for third place, as well as a $25 gift certificate for the big bass. And thank you to Homebrew Tackle, which is donating our small fish prize. Thank you to all of you guys as well for helping us put on the VBT. And I hope all of the listeners will kind of, in whatever way possible, send them thanks for helping out with this as well. Let's get to the current standings. Randy Crawford, our big man, has continued to dominate, and he's still in first place. He's actually upgraded, put a couple of upgrades on, and he's upgraded his big bass. So he had big bass before, he just upgraded. His new big bass is 23.25 inches. This gives Randy a 105.25, 105.25 inches for his lead right now. That is the current lead going into the last couple of days of this tournament. Randy has been catching his fish using a free rig. He's been saying that all along. This time he's got a Cinco on it with a black blue tail Cinco throwing his free rig. He has been giving me some updates in terms of why he thinks this bait is so special. I'm not going to share those with you now, because right now it's looking like he may be able to share those with you personally when we interview Randy, if he ends up taking first place. Second place remains Mark Niles, but Mark Niles has culled up and actually upgraded. He's at 99.5 inches with his 5 fish. So even though Mark Niles has upgraded, he still remains in second place. And Tim Shiver has not upgraded at all, and he remains in third with 93.5 inches. Lee DeBloon has upgraded this week. He moves from 6th place to 4th with 90 inches and 5 fish. So all of these top guys have 5 fish. And speaking of top guys with 5 fish, Leanne Hernandez was in 8th place. She caught her 5th fish and actually culled one of her fish. So she now has 5, and she's moved from 8th place all the way up to 5th place with 87.5 inches. Now here's a guy who wasn't even on the board last week. Jeff Anderson jumps in, 5 fish, turns them in this past week, and comes in at 6th place with 84.75 inches. Jeff Anderson on the leaderboard at 6th place with 84.75 inches with a 5 fish limit. And remember, he can keep culling. Tim Barthel. Tim Barthel has dropped a couple of points. He went from 4th to 7. He hasn't got any upgrades. He's still at 82.25 or 82 1/4 inches. But remember, Tim Barthel has the small bass in his bag. He's got a 6 1/4 in his bag. So we don't know what Tim's strategy is going to be. Is he going to hang on to that 6 1/4 and go for that small bass prize? Or is he in the next couple of days going to cull it out and try and move up? We have a very interesting story going on with that small bass award that we're going to get to in just a minute. So I'll come back to that. But currently, Tim Barthel drops from 4th place to 7th place, but he still has that small bass. Richard Majewski has no updates, and so that drops him from 5th to 8th place. He's got 79 1/4 inches with his 5 fish. Another angler who wasn't even on the board, Dan Laminger, comes through with 74 1/2 inches, puts him in 9th place. Dan was fishing Lake of the Ozarks for the last couple of weeks, putting fish on the board. He was fishing from a kayak, from piers, from shore. He was throwing a green pumpkin brush hog, a Cinco, and a 10-inch worm on Lake of the Ozarks, and he came in with 5 fish and is currently sitting in 9th place. In 10th place, we got Mike Gardini. Mike has 69 3/4 inches. Mike actually upgraded a little bit during the last week, but due to the fact that Dan and Jeff kind of jumped in with their limits, he actually drops down from 9th place to 10th place. Kelly Smith, our California angler and the operator of Homebrew Tackle that's donating the Small Fish Award, Kelly hasn't upgraded, and so he's in 11th place at 68 3/4 inches. Now, let's get to this. Warren Payne upgraded, caught a fish. It was a 8 3/4 inch bass that he upgraded. He now has 4 fish totaling 46 inches. Even though Warren is currently in 12th place, he's got to be looking at what Tim Barthel does. If Tim Barthel decides to cull out that 6 1/4 fish and go for a bigger fish to try and move up in spots, it would be Warren Payne right now who claims the Small Fish Award, because Warren has the next smallest fish in his bag. So this is an interesting spot for Tim and for Warren to be in, because Warren's got that 8.75. He's also got only 4 fish, so he could catch another fish and not cull out that 8.75. Meanwhile, Tim is looking at that 6 1/4 saying, man, I could get a lot. If I caught a 19 or 20 inch fish right now, I could go up another 14 inches in the standings. Interesting strategy with only a couple days left for sure. In 13th place, we got Mike Gandy with 3 fish at 44 1/2 inches. And rounding out the field, we got Bill Felton with 2 fish for 34 1/2 inches. Now, I'm going to put the standings up on the screen like I have been so that you can take a look at them. And while we're doing that, remember, guys, today is Tuesday. You only have Wednesday and Thursday. That's it. All entries must be in no later than midnight on the 31st of July. That's it. Once that happens, it's over. We will tabulate the winners, and we will be giving you the final results of the Mark Fisher Outdoors Virtual Bass Tournament the following week. So, guys, your strategies have been totally phenomenal in terms of watching how it goes. I can't wait to see how it shakes up at the end. You guys have been phenomenal in the way that you've been sending me information, in the way that you've been so honest and so clear on what your weights have been or what your measurements have been and the way that you're doing things. I totally appreciate everything that you guys are doing. I'm glad everybody's having a good time. Thank you so much, and we will see you again tomorrow with another episode of Mark Fisher Outdoors. Good luck, everybody. Take care.